What is up, you guys? Good to see you as always here on the channel. Got kind of a rainy day special for y'all today because as you can see behind me, it's still coming down a little bit, but it was actually pouring so heavily just a little while ago. I had to wait to make the video because it was so loud coming down on the tin roof. But I ran back from the shed. I was down there just kind of organizing some fertilizer and shovels and stuff. I got soaked just in that little trip from that little shed right here to the house. But gonna kind of do a two-for video today. Some of you have been wanting to see some propagation videos, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. But we're gonna clean up this whole area that you see behind me. All these terrariums need cleaning, and these little pots right there need some new plants in them. So we're gonna go out to the greenhouse, take some fresh cuttings, and see if we can't get those to root, and just kind of do what we can gardening-wise to get our plant therapy in on such a nasty, nasty day. So even on rainy days, there's always something that you can be doing gardening wise. And I can't remember if I put these in the video a while back or not on these water propagations. No roots on that guy, but I just think it looks pretty just to have plants in these jars up here. And I just like it when I'm standing at the kitchen sink just to have some greenery. And so that's why we hung this old log we found out in the woods, hung it up. And then just hung these terrariums down from the log, and just we're just going to kind of rearrange and play a little bit today. But this stuff like right here looks pretty nasty. So I'd like to clean out all these pots, and then we're going to go find some new plants and some new vegetation to put in all these guys and propagate them. So I guess first things first, we'll just start on one end. I'm going to get all these plants down. We'll go through, see if there's anything worth salvaging. The problem with doing it this way in this little bitty narrow mouth jar is when you have to go take all these things out, sometimes you have to wind up ripping the roots off. But how about that? They just all came out nice and easy. We've got, let's see here, we've got an Adansonii cutting. Kitty, you know you're not supposed to be up here on this counter. Quit showing out. Get down. So we had an Adansonii there, and of course this really beautiful Micans, philodendron. We're definitely going to use some more of it in the jars because it just has a really nice purple foliage to it. And so instead of just having everything all green, it just kind of brightens it up a little bit with that pretty red color. And we have got a conglomeration of roots right here, and I don't think I'm going to salvage any of this anyway, but I just kind of like learning and just seeing what rooted the best, even though it's really hard to tell when everything is just grown together like this. But the Micans has really, really healthy roots on it, so you could plant that or give it away to a friend or something. So that's the cool thing about doing stuff up here on the windowsill, is you can propagate it. It not only looks pretty in your house, but then you're making more plants to either plant for yourself or to give away or what have you. So it's kind of a dual purpose little fun thing to do. Don't you jump up there. You know you're not supposed to be on the counter. You're just acting bad because you're on YouTube. That's our cat Pepe. He is bad as all get out. We love him, but he sure can get on my nerves sometimes. Don't you bite my feet. Now quit. I've already fed you. And he's down here biting my feet, and I've already fed him. You behave yourself. Let me make a video, okay? Go sleep somewhere. Go sleep in a window. All right, so again, I think I'm just going to chunk all this because it's really grown together, and I don't need any more plants right now. I'm trying to keep myself from planting any more because I've just got an overabundance as it already is. So we're going to chunk this, and then we're going to clean our pot and start over. That's kind of a neat little jug we found. I think I got this at an antique mart. Just kind of got some wicker stuff around it. Looks cool, but I love to use glass. That way I can actually see the root production and just kind of monitor it. See how it does as it's propagating. So we'll just dump all this old nasty junk out. Turn us on some hot water. And rinse this bad boy out and get it cleaned up. And then we'll go to the greenhouse or either in here, in our own home, and see what we want to propagate. But I think we'll go to the greenhouse because I got some pretty cool stuff out there I think we might can scrounge up to throw in this jug. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of antibacterial soap, just so we can kind of kill all that bacteria and junk that's been growing in this thing. Only bad thing about using the glass that's transparent is you will get some algae and bacteria growth. But you just have to know that every once in a while you'll have to clean them out. And it's not that often. I mean, I don't think I've done this in a couple of months actually. I really need a bottle brush, but I don't think I have one that big to go in there and get that junk out. So I'm just going to try to do the best I can with rinsing it. The bottle brush that I do have, even though it's kind of long, it's really a small one. Let me see if we can get down in here and try to get some of that green junk off. You just kind of have to bend these things to go like you want them, and I don't think we're going to be able to do a whole lot with that, guys. I hate it because I want all that green crap. We'll have to order me some more bottle brushes off Amazon. We're just going to have to live with the green junk for today, guys, because we can't get it off. We'll just rinse it the best we can, and it's just going to have to ride. I don't even know if they make a bottle brush. Y'all leave me a comment below. What could we use to get in there to clean those sides? Because, I mean, it's kind of a small mouth on it. I might could put some sand in there, but I'm not going outside right now. You might could put some sand in there and shake it around. That might work, but anyway, we're not doing that today. But if y'all know of an easy way to clean these glasses out, please drop me a comment below. I'd be interested to know. I've learned so much from you guys. I hope I'm teaching y'all something every once in a while, but just from y'all's comments that you leave, I've learned a tremendous amount of stuff, so thank y'all. Now look here at this guy. So this is a stick plant that I just threw in there, and he's got just one air plant that is not doing too well. So we're going to give him a soaking and put him back and see if he'll perk back up. But the stick plant does really well in water culture. It'll just root a whole bunch. And I do really like this plant, but again, I'm trying to refrain myself from planting any more plants because the greenhouse is full, my house is full, and we've just got too many plants. But I do love this guy. What we could do and what we may do, just to add some different texture up there on the windowsill, we could come in here and reroot this dude. We'll probably just come in here and cut him right there. And even though he's going to be pissed off about it because he's already grown this nice set of roots, we're just using him for his foliage right now. And all the roots have all that old algae and bacterial growth, so it would just encourage it to grow in the container again. So I'm just going to cut him off right there. We're going to throw him back in the water, enjoy his sticky leg presence, and just add different texture to our windowsill and let him do it all over again. And this guy, he's got a nice wide mouth on him, so I know we should be able to do a decent job of getting him cleaned up. I think my actual dish brush will fit down in him pretty good. We'll just give him a couple rinses, wash the outside up so it all looks nice and pretty and clean when we're done. And we might even do the windows today, guys. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right? I don't think this brush is gonna fit down in there either. Well, crap. All right, we're gonna have to order us some brushes off Amazon here in a minute. I order everything off Amazon, you guys. I love it. It's so easy. I just go click it, tell them what I want, and usually the next day it's on my doorstep. Made it way too easy for us, haven't they? I need something that gets up in there. I need something like really curves and gets up in there. I probably could shove a rag down in there maybe. I'm gonna try that. Cleaning is not my forte, y'all. I'm okay at growing stuff, but cleaning is not one of my favorite things to do, nor I don't think it's a lot of people's favorite thing. Let's see. Is this gonna work? It's sliding around in there. Now I just gotta hope we can get the blasted thing out. That worked though. Look at that. Spin that joker around in there like that. Good as new.
And while we're got the stick plant just over here on the side, I'm just going to go ahead and do him right now since we're already right here and he's taking up counter space. And we'll probably go over and cut a few more branches off the mother plant here too. We're just going to go ahead and fill this guy all the way up to the neck right there. Kitty, get off that counter. What am I going to do with you? Every time I turn my back. All right, what was I doing? I had to go get my Felco number 2s out of the truck. And we're just going to come in here and make this guy root all over again. And I'll show you guys up close. What I like to do is cut at an angle, just like so. What that does is just allow more surface area of the cambium layer, which is responsible for making the roots. Just exposes more of that area to the water, and you should get better root production. He does have a little bit of algae on him, so I'm just going to rinse that off and rinse this foliage off too, because we did have some spider webs up there. And then we just throw him in there, just like that. We'll go over to the mother plant here in a second too. Well, matter of fact, let's just go ahead and go over there now. And I will see if I can hold the camera and propagate at the same time. And I can't. So I'm going to set the camera down. Y'all excuse my messy work area. Look at this stick plant, y'all. Isn't that cool? This guy has just gone nuts. He gets huge. He's just propped up on the wall right now. They're really actually hard to move when they get this big. So let's come in here and we can just grab some branches. Let me make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. We'll just come in here, maybe grab one here. And this is going to have a latex type sap that's going to drip out of it. So be careful and don't drip it all over your floor just like I'm doing right now. So we'll take that branch and then, I don't know, let's just come in here and take this guy. And that should be plenty enough. And then here I am telling y'all not to drip latex everywhere, and I'm dripping it all through the house, of course. Now with this guy here, we can actually make 2 propagations off of him because we're going to come right up above where these limbs have branched. And so if we cut this at an angle, probably need to go a little bit shorter, don't we? So he's not flippy floppy all over the place. And we'll just stick him right down in the water like that. And then the area or the limb that we removed right above there, we can do a propagation on him too. And he's got like some spiderweb junk hanging off of him. And we'll leave this guy a little bit taller because he's not as top heavy and won't be flopping all over the place. We can just slide him down into the water like so. And then our last dude right here, I'm going to come in and get that limb right there. We're going to cut it at an angle and we're going to just put him right down in the water. But it is really as simple as that, and then we'll get roots coming out of, hopefully coming out of each one of those cuttings. And he's ready to go back on the shelf once we get it cleaned off. And then we got our variegated, this is a really pretty plant. This is our variegated Hoya, or Hindu rope, as some people call it. And we're just going to set him out of the way for right now so we can clean our shelf off. And I always put all my plants in these dishes because I just watered him yesterday, and that just keeps water from going all over your windowsill. Let's see who we got next. We've got another Micans. This thing's done fell down into our sundew plant and sent one of his aerial roots into the sundew. How about that? Plants will find a way, you guys. They will find a way. And I'd like to find another tray instead of just using this old ugly styrofoam, because this guy's got to be wet all the time, the sundew. So I just put him by the kitchen sink so that I always remember to put water in there. But this looks kind of ugly. So we'll see if we can't find us another dish. And then I was just experimenting and playing around with this guy. This is just an air plant that I just stuck right down in to that vase. but he's got some roots too that have attached themselves to that rock. I've never seen one do that before, but this one was in another dish before in rocks, and it just attached itself, so I just let him hang there. It actually works out good in this vase, because when he goes down in there, that rock holds him directly upright. So inadvertently, that kind of worked out to my advantage. We're going to get this jar cleaned up now, and then probably what I'm going to do, guys, because I know y'all don't want to sit here and watch me wash all these stupid dishes. I'm just going to, I'll film it, but I'm going to go through and clean these things, rip out all the old plants, and then we're going to head out to the greenhouse and find us some new plant material. And while I've got these air plants out, a little bit too warm, I'm just going to go ahead and give them a good soaking, and then I'm going to drop him right back in his little vase. Not going to put any water down there because a good bit's probably going to drip off the rock, and that'll be plenty of humidity for him. Alright guys, we got all of our little containers washed up. I was thinking something too as I was doing this. These that are kind of like frosted actually are really nice because you can't see all the green gook, and there wasn't a tremendous amount growing in there either. I guess because it blocked out most of the sun, but you can still see, well, I don't know if you guys can see, but you can still see the water level, and you can see root production too. So I kind of would like to have some more of these honestly versus the clear, because the clear are getting so much algae growth. Anyway, I'm going to come in here now and wipe these counters down, throw away. We finally got rid of our fruit fly problem. See how close I can get. Look at all the nasty little fruit flies this thing caught. Bought this thing off Amazon too. Works really good, but finally I think we got rid of our fruit fly problem. All right, let's see where my windowsill cleaner, actually my everything cleaner is. And we'll get this thing cleaned up, maybe hit the window with some Windex, let all that good sunlight come through. Then we'll go do the fun part and go out to the greenhouse and pick us out some new plants. But before we can have the fun, we got to do the cleaning and the sucky part. That's just part of life, you guys. One good thing about YouTube though is making all these videos really has helped me clean my house up, because I don't want to show y'all it when it's like it how it normally is with the sink full of dishes. And ta-da, look at there guys. Clean as a baby's bottom. Actually that's the wrong saying, isn't it? That's smooth as a baby's bottom. Clean as a whistle. There we go. Clean as a whistle. And I'm not going outside to do the outside well. Even though the rain stopped, it's wet and it's kind of pointless. And as we're walking out to the greenhouse, just real quick, guys, this calathea has done so good over here. I put it in a big old huge pot and got it tucked a good ways away from any light whatsoever, and it has done great. But I've got just a bunch of different types of alocasia and colocasia around here. So anyway, there's my front door. Let's go into the greenhouse and get trigger happy and chop some stuff up. Hey Larry, what you doing today, buddy? You want to say hi to everybody? Larry flew away the other day and was gone for 3 days. I didn't make a video of it. I did put a TikTok video of the whole stupid venture we went on, but it was my fault, wasn't it, buddy? I didn't clip his wings good enough and he flew away from tree to tree to tree. And seriously, 3 days I chased this little booger. Well, we got you back, didn't we, buddy? Yeah. All right. So got him back in the greenhouse here because we had to do some spraying at grassroots, and didn't want the birds out there with the chemical. Sorry, Miss Scarlet, I forgot you too, didn't I, darling? So we got Miss Scarlet over here as well, hanging out in the greenhouse at home. So now let's find us some stuff. The fun part about this is you can experiment with literally whatever you want to throw in that water to see if it'll root. So I'm going to search around here and see what we can get to
happen. We got to come out here and water, guys. It's pretty dry. It's been so hot the past few days. But let's just look around and see what we can find to throw in our water propagation. A lot of these are orchids, so they're not going to work. But this mini monstera right here might look cool. This is Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and it'll do in water culture too. So let's get us a quick cutting off of it for one of the bigger jars. We can just come in really anywhere off the top and do us a nice top cutting like so. We can get rid of these lower couple leaves. Leave those top 3, you think? I think that'll work out good. And we'll just throw him right down in the water. Then we got this real pretty variegated syngonium who's getting too long anyway. So we're just going to come in and take a little snippet of him as well. And here's another really cool syngonium. Look what this guy's done, y'all. He has fastened himself. This is an old piece of chimney pipe that I just brought in here and used it as a plant stand. But this syngonium, at the base of it, he just attached himself with his aerial roots, and I mean, he is affixed to that thing really good. So let's take us a cutting off of him as well before he goes up here and kills this monstera. We'll just do a top cut just like that off of that dude right there. He's pretty cool. I like his leaf. And then I've never tried to do water propagation of Rex begonia, but let's see which one this one is. His name is Beefsteak. Begonia erythrophila? Something like that. Anyway, let's try it. I'm in an experimental mood today, you guys, so we're just going to give him a chop right there, and thank goodness he didn't fall down behind the table. We'll clean him up a little bit inside, and we'll throw him in too and see what happens. This will be a cool one to do, you guys. This is Enjoy. This is a pothos, and I've just had them propagating in these little pots right here. Let's just go ahead, give him a little snip, and that'll kind of brighten up the kitchen a little bit too. Anything variegated with these bright colors would help to brighten it up and lively it up a little bit. And look at this right here. Now I certainly ain't cutting this because this is a very expensive plant. This is our red moon philodendron. Look at the leaf on that, you guys. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? This guy just had this big old red streak, which was cool looking. But the red, and this one was almost all red as well, but the red will fade back in time to this green. So you can kind of see they come out this bright, bright red, beautiful color, and then fade back to green. But we're not cutting him, sorry. We can, however, let's try this crown of thorns right here. He's got these cool dark green glossy leaves and a few flowers, and he needs to be trimmed anyway. So let's get a top cut off of him. Look at there, caught it, cut it, and caught it, and held the camera. What? So we're gonna take this guy in too and try it. I've never done water propagation on him either. Let's see what else we got around here, guys, that we want to cut off of. This is another cool pothos. Let's take some of him. We don't have that color. He's kind of a creamy looking variegation, and he's getting really long over here in this window too. So we can go ahead and maybe cut both of these, and that way he can sprout out, become bushier, and we'll have a bunch that we can throw in the pot. Add that to our pile. All right, well, I don't think we need but just a few more items. We still got stuff in the house too that we could propagate off of. Let's see. Maybe we could try to do some jade. Y'all want to try to do some jade? I do. Ow. Well, I didn't do that just now, but I did just, however, accidentally hit that damn cactus and he spurred me. All right, let's come in here and get us 1, 2 jade plants. Man, we got to get out here and clean too, guys. Look at these shelves. There's just so much to do. You just can't do it all. I don't care who you are. Well, I guess some people can do it. I can't. I get too sidetracked and cleaning sucks, and I don't like doing it, and therefore it just doesn't get done. Now, I'd really like to try to do some of this Hoya. Look at the cool leaf on this guy. Isn't that awesome? I like him. Hoyas aren't really my thing, but I do like that. But I see something here, guys. We're not taking him inside because, look, we've got scale, and it's pretty bad. So we're gonna have to get out here with some systemic or either some dormant oil. Ew, that's not good. Yeah, we're definitely not taking this inside, but I thought I'd just share it with you guys just so you can see what scale looks like. That's it right there. That's no bueno. That's a pretty plant too, but that scale's hidden under the leaves. I had no idea it even had it, so great. One more thing we got to add to the list, guys. All right, I think this is enough anyway, and we've got some more stuff inside too. So if we're a little light, we can just grab some cuttings off of some of the inside plants. Right, Larry? Right. All right, guys, we are back in the house now. Went ahead and just kind of set up our little jars like I want them, and put our stick plant back up in there, fill the big pot back up with water. And I went ahead, since we saw that scale, and I know I've got some other bug issues out there, went ahead and just washed each one of the cuttings, ripped off all the leaves that I didn't want. Just get everything kind of cleaned up just to keep from bringing some more bugs into the house. But speaking of bugs, let's see how close I can get to this for you guys. I'm going to set the tripod up right here. This little sundew is eating a little gnat. Let's see if I can do this. It was so cool. I watched him kind of struggling around. There he is. So you can see, maybe he'll move around in just a second, but at the very end of my thumb there, that's a little fruit fly that has gotten stuck to the sundew. So what'll happen is that leaf will curl up around him and eat him. How cool is that, man? I love carnivorous plants. That is so neat. Let me see if I can get a little bit more focused. I'm using my iPhone right now. It's probably about as close up as I can get. But pretty neat how this plant will feed itself, and it'll help take care of some of the bugs in your house. I couldn't find anything really good to put him in, so just found this little plastic lid, but you can see the water there. He has to stay moist. This is a bog plant called sundew. So really neat plant, but now I got sticky stuff on my fingers from touching the plant. But anyway, I get sidetracked too, as you guys know. Let's go ahead and angle cut all of these cuttings, and then we'll just start throwing them up in different jars. We got to put our variegated Hindu rope back up on the shelf, and also our little glass jars with the air plants, and then we'll see if we need any more plants. I think we'll just go ahead and throw this larger crown of thorns, and by the way, I've already filled all of these up with water. We'll throw the crown of thorns in there and kind of throw some of our bigger leafed specimens on each end just to kind of tie it all together. That's our syngonium, and then we got this really nice variegated syngonium right here. Maybe we'll just come in and stick him right in the middle there. Then we got this little pothos. Maybe we'll just kind of throw him in right there. And I'm not a very uniform person, but since we've got two jades, we'll throw a jade in on each end right there. Then I think we'll just come in to finish it off, put some pothos right in those two little jars there. But that looks pretty cool, and of course you could go and cut more and make it as full as you want, but I'm kind of happy with that. It looks fresh and everything's clean now. It makes me feel better. And so again, these will hopefully root, and we can do whatever we want to with them after that. Give them away, pot them up, do whatever. But I think it looks pretty nice just the way it is, and that'll stay like that for probably a few months, honestly. As long as it stays cool inside the house and we keep water in each one of the jars, they'll be fine for a long time. Now coming up back over to this window, we've got our dude that has the rock hanging from him, and another Just a little air plant vase right here. I still don't like this stupid little plastic thing, but that's all I could find right now. We'll have to find something that looks a little bit better later. And then we've got our mini monstera, our rhaphidophora. I'm just going to throw him right in that big pot there, and I think that looks pretty cool because of the magnification of the water. You can see the stem and his aerial roots, and that looks pretty neat right there in the corner. Again, you could come in and fill this thing up as much as you wanted, and I didn't have time for those of you who are going to comment and say, please clean that jar up there. I really want to right now, but I just simply don't have the time. So the windowsill is going to be it for today, but I think that turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment in the section below, or send me some pictures of whatever you may have on our Facebook page at Grassroots Yard Supply. I'd love to see what ideas you guys have got going in the house, but I think that looks a lot better, don't y'all? Well guys, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me on this old rainy day. The rain has come back and settled in a little bit, but it's kind of nice, and it's fun to find projects that you can do inside the house to be able to get your plant therapy, because I sure needed it after the past few days. And just doing little stuff like that just relaxes me, and it just makes the house feel more natural and just kind of brings nature inside. But appreciate you guys watching. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if there's any other videos you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to put them out there. Other than that, the more you know, the more you grow. See you guys on the next video. Bye, y'all. Have a good rainy day.